Evander Holyfield was one of the top hopes for the American team in the 1984 Los Angeles Olympics. He confidently passed 3 stages. In the semifinals, he faced New Zealander Kevin Barry. The duel turned out to be dirty. In the second round, Evander knocked out Kevin with a left hook. However, at the moment of impact, the referee's command sounded, questioning the legality of the blow. After a long deliberation, Holyfield was disqualified and received only a bronze medal. This moment only strengthened the boxer's desire to prove his worth in the professional ring. On November 15, 1984, Evander, along with fellow U.S. teammates Pernell Whitaker, Virgil Hill, Mark Breland, Meldrick Taylor, and Tyrell Biggs, made his professional debut. Holyfield was rapidly gaining momentum. After 11 fights, he reached the status of contender for the title. In his corner was the famous trainer Lou Duva.
You have to put punches together like Holyfield has done right there, and this fight is over.
Evander's rival was former prisoner, WBA world champion Dwight Qawi. Qawi had rolled through the light heavyweight division. He took revenge for the only loss in his career from Johnny Davis. Consecutively, he passed the former champion Mike Rossman and the magnificent James Scott. In the title fight, he defeated Matthew Syed Muhammad and became the new WBC world champion. After 2 title defenses and a rematch with Muhammad, Qawi entered the unification bout. His fight with Michael Spinks is considered one of the most significant fights in the light heavyweight history. In the 8th round, Qawi was able to knock Spinks down, but Michael kept the fight under control and won by decision. Dwight pushed for a rematch, but never got a second chance. In the mid-80s, a new weight category began to gain popularity: cruiserweight. Qawi moved to this division and soon became the world champion there. In his first defense of the title, he dealt with the brother of Michael Spinks, Leon Spinks, and partially avenged himself on the Spinks family for his defeat in the unification battle. In the second defense on July 12, 1986, he had to test a young superstar, Evander Holyfield.
First, it's a classic matchup between the old pro Qawi and the young, hungry, up-and-coming contender Holyfield.
So we've already seen a glimpse of the life of Evander Holyfield. He can laugh about some of his childhood, but I don't think Dwight Muhammad Qawi can find very much to laugh about, Alex.
Al, most boxers come from very tough backgrounds, but the life of Dwight Muhammad Qawi has been filled with almost unbelievable brutality. He was one of 13 children, 10 boys. 2 of his brothers are dead. Of the remaining 7, 6 have served time for felonies, including his older brother, who beat their father to death in 1984. At one point, Dwight himself appeared on the verge of a lifetime in prison.
Swallow, the bell rang. The 3 knockdown count is in effect, as is the match.
He's not that he is a good defensive fighter. He gets himself out of that division. I think he's carrying excess poundage, and that has to hurt his reflexes.
Holyfield in the white trunks with blue trim, one to the head of Qawi.
The fight started at a high pace. Qawi was much shorter than his opponent, so he focused on Holyfield's body. He constantly put pressure on Holyfield, while Evander, having an advantage in speed, constantly moved and successfully carried out quick and sudden attacks. Still, Qawi gradually determined the distance he needed, and at the end of the second round, the landscape of the fight changed slightly. At the beginning of the third round, Holyfield attacks. Qawi responds, but Evander is determined to take this round for himself. Evander's powerful explosion was somewhat successful, but Qawi continued to move forward. Dwight takes the middle of the round, but in the end, Evander explodes again and the round went to him. The fourth round, Holyfield continues to find his distance, but ends up in a very unpleasant position near the ropes.
Stamina was a big question with him, and he is very, very tired. Qawi has him right where he wants him. Punching low again there is Qawi.
Lou Duva saying, yelling.
Evander temporarily frees himself, but Qawi again throws him back to the ropes and hits him with a right cross.
Holyfield stumbled with that knee, breathing very heavily, but he is relentless.
A left and a right combination again. Boy, that
has worked well for Holyfield, but now a big left-right left. Dwight Muhammad Qawi used to get stronger as the fight progressed. He certainly did when he hit pros.
Qawi increased his pace, and Holyfield is not as active as before. But by the 6th round, both boxers are working to their fullest and exchanging multi-hit combinations. From that moment, the fight turns into a war. In round 8, Qawi throws out only a few punches, which are constantly countered by Holyfield. But for Qawi, this round was simply a way for him to take a break, and after a pause, he proceeds to attack. In his previous 11 fights, Holyfield only fought once more than 8 rounds. As for Qawi, he had previously boxed 15 rounds, and more than 10 rounds in 11 of his fights. Holyfield, who was younger than Qawi, looked more fresh and energetic throughout the 9th and 10th rounds, and Qawi needed a long break.
The things that have happened so far in this fight, he tired a little bit, but he's come back and he's very much in the fight. The fighters are taking time off there. They're leaning on each other. It's a matter of who ends the rest. Dwight ended that one and he scores well. Between his gloves, dropping down, lowering them. I remember from that background.
In the 11th round, Holyfield's confidence grew, and he attacked with tough and strong combinations. Qawi responded, but he does not have much strength, and his counterattacks are not as impressive.
Combination by Evander. A lunging left. Again, the perspiration flying off the face of Holyfield. Second round to Evander Holyfield.
In the 12th round, Holyfield starts with a good attack. At this stage, contrary to the expectations of many, the fight shifts in Holyfield's favor. But Qawi tries to keep the advantage and manages to land several good blows.
You have to be big. He still uses the All-Star game up to.
During the break, Lou Duva advised Evander to develop his attacks, to not invest all his power into single punches. The fight immediately moved to close range. The champion pressed, resting his left shoulder on the opponent. Holyfield seized the moment, broke the distance, and began to crush Dwight with punches bent at the elbow. He struck a total of 4 combinations, each containing more than 4 blows. Qawi survived everything and drove the enemy away with his signature combination, a long left hook and a right cross. Evander tried to keep him at distance, but the champion successfully approached him each time with blows. An important note, Qawi never moved forward without throwing punches. The first blows were in the air, and with the second series, he would certainly touch the enemy. This brought him success. Holyfield was forced to work at a distance convenient for the champion. Everything was equal here. In the end, Evander once again managed to break the distance and deliver another combination. Qawi tried to answer but fell into the arms of the enemy. The round ended with furious applause from the audience.
And the school bell sounds and the round is over. 2 to go. They're loving it in Atlanta.
In the 14th and 15th rounds, Qawi, trying his best, is only able to deliver a few punches, while Holyfield, whom Qawi had called mediocre before the fight, was active and more accurate.
Again, ringside, that right. Snapped the jaw of Holyfield. Another left coming in from Qawi. Both fighters together. But here's Qawi, the veteran. That time, Qawi looked at Vinny Rain on the referee and asked him what he was warning him about. He didn't understand. Evander may have flurried a little bit too much early in this round. He's going to have to gut the end of this round out.
In the last seconds of the fight, Qawi tried to lure Holyfield into a trap after a right hook. He pretended to be seriously shaken, and as soon as Holyfield attacked, Qawi pounced on his opponent. The idea worked, but not as Qawi would have liked. Holyfield won by split decision. One of the judges gave victory to Qawi by a score of 143 to 141, but the other two counted the fight in favor of Holyfield, with the scores of 147 to 138 and 144 to 140. According to the shot statistics by CompuBox, Holyfield threw 1,290 hits, with 629 of them on target. Qawi threw out 1,018 punches, with 562 hits on target. Immediately after the fight, Holyfield was sent to the hospital, where it was revealed that he had lost 15 pounds during the fight. This episode prompted the doctors to discover a kidney problem, which prevented future damage.
For the winner, and new Evander Holyfield!
Many years later, Holyfield would say, "This fight almost forced me to leave boxing." A year and a half later, these boxers met again, and Holyfield won by knockout in round 4. But it is this first fight of these boxers that is number 1 in the list of the greatest fights of the cruiserweight division. If you enjoyed this video, please click the like button, leave us a comment, and hit the bell to turn on notifications so you won't miss our next videos. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so right now. See you next time in the ring.